Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to be explaining what assignments we have for this week. So if you go to the page in Blackboard, October 11th through the 15th, you will see as usual a schedule up here, a folder that says readings. It says in here you'll find your neighborhood discovery paragraph assignment here, as well as the preliminary research assignment. I'll be explaining what those are in just a bit. This is of course where you found this video and the videos, and then the assignments where you're going to turn in the assignments folder is where you will actually turn in your neighborhood discovery paragraph assignment and the preliminary research assignment. So again, I'll explain what those are. You've got these two assignments. You might be going, wait, what are those? And that's what we're here for today, to be able to talk you through those. So the actual assignment, the thing that you'll read to tell you what to do is in the readings, and the place where you'll submit those assignments is in the assignments folder. So let's go through what we have in here. Just if you click on the schedule for October 12th through the 15th, I left off the 11th because the college is closed on the 11th, but so you didn't have anything to do for the class time. But by the end of the week, you'll need to submit your neighborhood discovery paragraph and your preliminary research assignment. So let's go through and explain what those are. And again, those were the two assignments that I said were in the folders in your in Blackboard. So let's look at the neighborhood discovery assignment. So the neighborhood discovery paragraph, rather, it says here, this assignment is the first step in writing your Nature in the Neighborhood writing project. So there's a bigger project that we're looking for called the Nature in the Neighborhood writing project. It's going to be 750 words, a longer version, You aren't writing that full assignment now. This is, I say here, the first step in writing that. So for the Nature and Neighborhood writing project, the big one, you'll need to explore some natural aspect of any neighborhood you choose, just like you had to do for your neighborhood observation project, except here you're looking for specifically a natural aspect. You do not need to live in the neighborhood, but just like for the neighborhood observation project, you need to be able to access the neighborhood easily. So you can choose any neighborhood you want. If you want to go to, your grandmother's neighborhood, your aunt's neighborhood, a place, where your old school was, whatever neighborhood, for whatever reasons you like, that's fine, as long as you can access it easily. You can't choose something that you can't get to. The natural aspect can be along the lines of any chapters we have read so far. That is minerals and biomass, flipping things over, and animals among us. So minerals and biomass was about things like rocks and plants. Flipping things over was about insects, and animals among us was about animals, larger animals, raccoons and possums and things like that. So if there's anything that you're noticing in nature that fits into any of those categories, those are things that you are able to write about. So I say here, the neighborhood discovery paragraph is designed to help you choose a topic for your Nature in the Neighborhood writing project. So you've got this big project, 750 words, coming up later on. We'll deal with that next week. But right now, you're just going to be doing a paragraph, the neighborhood discovery paragraph. And so this is to help you choose a topic for the bigger one and tell the story of how you discovered it. So, for example, if you were planning to write about the wasp that I found in my backyard and that I brought to class last week, your neighborhood discovery paragraph might look like this. And I'll show you that. By the way, if you weren't in class, maybe you didn't see. Can you see in there? Here's the wasp that I found in my backyard, and I brought that to class and passed this around so people could look at it. Uh, so let's say that I wanted to write about that wasp. And so my neighborhood discovery paragraph would look like this. So for my Nature Hidden in the Neighborhood writing project, I plan to write about a wasp I found in my backyard. I got interested in this wasp when I was walking around my backyard. I moved some leaves of a plant out of the way so I could look at the dirt that was hidden by the leaves, and that's when I saw the hole in the ground, about the size of a dime, right next to the edge of the patio. I figured that such a hole that such a hole had to have been made by a living thing. Sorry, I have an extra word in there. So I figured that such a hole had to have been a thing. So I cut some of the leaves off so that I could watch the hole for a while. It was difficult to keep my attention focused on the hole when nothing was happening, but after about 5 minutes, I saw a large insect land right next to the hole. I was a bit freaked out because it was so large, but I didn't move. I kept watching while the wasp slowly made its way into the hole. I couldn't believe that I had found such a large insect living so close to my house, and so I decided then that that was what I would write about. So again, just a paragraph. It's say here it needs to be at least 200 words long in an MLA format, so it needs to be double spaced. You need to have your heading up at the top. So just 200 words that you're going to write explaining what you plan to write about for this bigger project and how you came about that, right? How is it that you decided to write about this? And so that's all I did here, right? I said, this is how I found this wasp. I was in my backyard wandering around, looking at stuff. What am I looking for? Oh, look, there's a hole here. I found this wasp. Oh, this is interesting. Maybe I'll write about that. So again, fairly straightforward, just a couple hundred words. So you'll need to then take a walk around your neighborhood, find something, and then write up these 200 words about that. So that's the first one. The neighborhood discovery paragraph. Then you've got your preliminary research assignment, the second thing. So this larger project is going to have some research to it. No in-depth research, but just some research that you'll need to have. And so here is where I want you to talk about that preliminary research. How is it that you went about that, and how do you plan to go about it? So see, I have 4 questions that I want you to answer. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on this document that I've included here in the folder, I've answered the questions like I was doing, right? And so I want you to answer the 4 questions, for your project. So let's see what I did here. I say the preliminary research assignment is the second step in completing your nature in the neighborhood writing project. So first do the discovery paragraph. For this project, you need to answer the 4 questions in bold below. So those 4 questions that I just showed you. For example, continuing with my examples of writing about the wasp I found in my backyard, my preliminary research assignment would look like this. So yours will look just like this, except of course, you'll say different things. So I say, what is the topic you'll be researching? And I say simply a large wasp I saw in my backyard. What were the first steps you took to begin researching, and what were the results? I began by asking my neighbors if they knew anything about big wasps in the area. Some of my neighbors had seen wasps, but no one knew what they were called or if they were dangerous. So I decided to conduct a Google search. Since I didn't know exactly what I was looking for, I Googled the phrase wasp nest under my patio. That phrase mainly returned information from pest control companies about how to get rid of wasps, but nothing about identifying wasps. That didn't work well for me. So then I Googled Big Wasp New York, and that's when I found a link from South Dakota State University about cicada wasps. Since this information was created by a university, it seems reliable, because that is the case. If you find things coming from universities, from educational institutions, they're more likely to be reliable than you might get from a commercial website. The website showed a hole similar to the one I saw in my yard, and a picture of a wasp that matched the one I saw. I learned that cicada wasps almost never hurt people. I also learned that they are called cicada wasps because they feed on large bugs called cicadas. So, first steps, I began researching what are the results, and I explained what that was. Okay. Then, what are the next things you need to research about your topic? I say first I want to research the cicadas that wasps eat. I don't know what those look like and want to know exactly what they are. So they're called cicada wasps because they eat these bugs. I don't know what they are. I haven't seen those in my yard, so I want to find out some more information about that. Also, I don't really know what a wasp is. How a wasp is different from a bee, and I would like to learn something about that. Wasps and bees, they seem very similar, right? Are they? Hornets? What's the difference between all those? I'm interested. I'm going to learn something about that. I also want to know if there's anything that eats a cicada wasp, and if there is, do I need to be worried about that? Do snakes eat them? Do I need to be worried about snakes? What else might eat them? Is there anything else? So that's some more information that I can have, that I can learn about. Because if I learn a lot about what's going on with these wasps, then I'm going to have something to put in my 750-word project. And so keep that in mind, because you are going to have to be writing a longer project here. And if you don't find out some more information, you aren't going to have much to say. So let's see what we can come up with for that. I then say in here what kind of sources will you need to help you find the information above. So I will start looking at Wikipedia articles about cicadas, wasps, and bees. As we talked about last week, that's perfectly fine to begin with those places, okay? But you don't want to rely on them exclusively, but they will help you begin to ask on some level the right questions and give you enough background information that you could potentially ask the right questions. And then I say, however, since I cannot cite Wikipedia articles for my project, that's in bold because that's really important, right? You cannot cite those in your works cited page. We'll talk about how to do all that. However, since I cannot cite Wikipedia articles for my project, I will look for information from government and university websites that discuss insects. Okay, so those things, I will do those things. So again, that's the second part, which is the preliminary research assignment for the Nature project. So you need two things. You need a 200-word paragraph talking about what your topic is. That means you'll need to go out and investigate your neighborhood and find a topic. And then you'll need to complete this preliminary research assignment. Well, you will answer these 4 questions. And then when you've done both of those things, again, the assignments for these, you'll find the assignments that I just showed you here. If you click on the reading section, it says here you'll find the neighborhood discovery paragraph assignment and preliminary research assignment here. So if you you open that up, you will find the preliminary research assignment instructions and neighborhood discovery paragraph instructions. Those are the 2 documents that I was just showing you. Again, you'll be able to find those there. If you go back out of here, if you click on the assignments folder, you will see the Turnitin links where you can actually upload these assignments for me to grade. It's going to take a while for it to come up, but you'll see that those are there. So that's what you need to be doing for this week, working on those, and then for next week we'll work on expanding the project. So as always, if you have any questions, make sure to email me the places where you're going to actually submit these 2 projects, 2 assignments. As always, if you have any kind of questions about anything, make sure to email me and we can talk about those. I'll talk to you hopefully individually throughout the week. Otherwise, I will see you next Monday.